Chris, K-I-S.
Okay.
Good evening, friends. Good afternoon, friends. I am Ahmar Mustikhan, and I hold this event here every first Saturday of the month on various social issues, racial justice issues, international justice issues, women's rights, all the other issues that are not really mainstreamed. So Balochistan, I think, is also on the very, very fringe of official Washington, D.C. thinking. So I'm extremely grateful to all those of you friends who are here. I appreciate your kind presence. You see, I'll first begin by saying salutes to the sword of Baloch, Sagar Baloch, Martyr Sangat, Beg Muhammad, Ilyas Tariq of Garbak area of Bola. Salutes to Fidai Sangat Mohazzam Ilyas Baloch from the Jan Parhum area of Panjgur. Salutes to Martyr Fidai Sangat Ahkam Bangulzai Ilyas Badal from Major Chowk area, Mastum. Salutes to Martyr Fidai Sangat Zafar Baloch Ilyas Manan from the Maripur area of Karachi. Salutes to Martyr Fidai Sangat Yasir Baloch Ilyas Shavez Bolani from Chashma Zeri area of Huzdar. Salutes to Martyr Fidai Sangat Ustama Umar Ilyas Salal of Safed Bulandi Lucky area of Mastum. Salutes to Sangat Shakil Satakzai Ilyas Zorain was the brave gorilla who went from Dagari area of Quetta. Salutes to Martyr Sangat Saddam Jan Ilyas Wadud. He's from the Dadar area of Bolan. Salutes to Martyr Fidai Sangat Parvez Bizinjo Ilyas Doda from the Liari area of Karachi. So I'm glad that my area is also represented. I've lived most of my life in Karachi. Salutes to Martyr Sangat Farid Ilyas Sagir Jan from Washok in Balochistan. Salutes to Martyr Sangat Eid Muhammad alias Shah Fahad from the brewery area of Quetta. Salutes to Martyr Sangat Didag Ilyas Kambar from the Malay Bazar area of Turbat. Salutes to Martyr Sangat Jumma Ilyas Mehran from the Pir Ismail area of Bolan. Also salutes to the female woman fighters who sacrificed their lives for the freedom of Balochistan. Salutes to Shari Baloch, salutes to Sumaya Kalandrani, salutes to Mahil Baloch, and salutes to Mahikani Baloch. And previously, in the past, salutes to Nawab Noroz Khan and his sons, and salutes to Safar Khan. Salutes to Ali Muhammad Mangal, Lawang Khan Mangal, and Asadullah Mangal. Salutes to Nawab Akbar Khan Bukti. Salutes to Mir Bala Ajmari. Salutes to my friends, Waja Ghulam Ahmad Baloch, Lala Munir Baloch, Professor Sabah Dashtiyari, they were my friends. Salutes to the Baloch, to the workers of the Baloch National Movement. It's a party of middle class people. And salutes to the comrades of the Baloch Republican Party. Salutes to thousands of martyrs of Balochistan. The first 13 names that I mentioned here today are the heroes, the martyrs of Balochistan, who had staged that heroic train hijack. I call it the Baloch Spring. First time in the history of Pakistan, such a large-scale action has been taken by the Baloch, and this was the Jafar Express train hijacking on March 11 that had received very well by the entire Baloch world. The friends in Pakistan call it tragedy. Pakistanis call it tragedy. We call it the Baloch Spring. And it has been, you see, it has been a game changer actually, because we are all very delighted over that.
So I have a question for you on that.
I'll go to the question section. The thing is, this historical context, the integration of Balochistan forcibly into Pakistan on March 1948, the Pakistani state has consistently used coercive measures to assert control over the region. The unique ethnic identity and historical context of Balochistan have often been ignored in favor of a unified national identity, fake identity, because you see all the stans in the world are named after real people. Balochistan is named after Baloch, Afghanistan is named after Afghans. Sometimes we call India Hindustan, which was named mostly the Hindu people, Hindustan, land of Hindus, Kurdistan, land of Kurds, the old Turkmenistan, land of Turkmens. The only strange oddity is Pakistan. It's not named after any people. This word itself was coined in Cambridge in 1927. You see, in this whole thing, this deals with torture in our area. Thousands have been killed this time round when the fifth uprising started in fall of 2006. And it started when the military coup leader, military dictator, he went after the person who was elected chief minister from Balochistan. He was also the governor of Balochistan. He was working within the framework of Pakistan all along, from 1947 until his killing in 2006. So how many years? It is almost 6 decades. So he was working, he was not someone who was saying, no, I don't want Pakistan. He was not someone like me who calls Pakistan cluster Pakistan, you see. So he was operating within that whole system. But still they could not, he was just demanding that our resources will be ours, our ports will belong to the Baloch people, our money should stay in Balochistan. This is all he was asking. He was not asking for separation or anything. But this General Musharraf, he's got Lucknow links. And I don't know why, you see, he came in and he created all this problem, he assassinated him. And since then, this fifth uprising, there is no stopping. This fifth uprising, prior to that, there were 4 uprisings. The first uprising was in March 1948, okay, when Pakistan forcibly annexed Balochistan. My family has been very closely related to the Baloch struggle because the Sindh notables in Sindh province, they met at my family house. And all the notables in Sindh also, the Baloch notables, there were a lot of Baloch in Sindh, they rejected the idea of Pakistan. And the flag of Balochistan flew over our family home from August 1947 until March 27, 1948. That flag is still there with one of my family members. And Mr. Jinnah went, he asked one of the officers. That officer was the same officer who just 2 weeks after the creation of Pakistan went into Kashmir. He had masterminded the Operation Gulmarg. His name was Major General Akbar Khan. So he forcibly got the accession, instrument of accession signed by the Khan of Kalat on March 27, 1948. And the most interesting thing is, it's a very important document called the Instruments of Accession, and his signature is on the 27th, and Mr. Jinnah's signature is on the 31st. Such a big deal going on, a country which is like the size of France, and you get one signature on one date, the other itself, you see, it shows it was coerced. You see, in this phase of the struggle in Balochistan, there have been cases of thousands of enforced disappearances. In the past, Argentina and Chile used to be the world capital of enforced disappearances. Now, for the last many years, Balochistan is the world capital of enforced disappearances. Right now, just yesterday I read in one of the newspapers, as many as 14,000 people are victims of enforced disappearances right now. And many of them are very educated people. You see, it's not like someone who has got no education or nothing like that. Very educated people are also. And in those enforced disappearances, a sample was done by this group called the Human Rights Council of Balochistan. It's a very good group. They are based in Germany. I know the guy who works for them. I hope he will see me talking, and I want to thank him. His name is Abdullah Abbas, and they did a very good job. So you see, the victims enforced disappearances, 10.7% victims were forcibly abducted by the inter-services intelligence, 10.7% of the others were forcibly disappeared by the military intelligence of Pakistan, 7.1% by the counter-terrorism department, and 60% assorted, you see, like the ISI, MIC, they all mix. So that is 60%. And during this period, my own brother-in-law, who's totally peaceful guy, educated in America, he was one of the first to come to America and get education here in 73. He wrote a few articles, and some says, no, they were angry because of my articles. I always write. I'm in America, I write about them. So some people said, no, he was actually forcibly abducted because of my, although he's not been talking to me for some reasons for a long time now. But he was 4 days, my sister went on searching from police station to hospital, where's my husband? And you see, then finally he was released after 4 days. The security agencies came into their house, and they, you see, searched each and every single paper, each and every single pin inside the house. And for 2 weeks they had cordoned off that whole place. It was a total peaceful person, nothing to do with any militancy or militant organization. You see, this kind of nonsense they are doing. So the military operation and its impact on society. Military operations in Balochistan have often been characterized by widespread human rights abuses, including torture. Families are subjected to brutal interrogations, homes are destroyed, and communities are terrorized as a form of collective punishment. The normalization of torture in military operations has eroded the civilian foundation, dehumanizing individuals and reinforcing state control through fear and violence. Arbitrary detentions are a common precursor to torture in Balochistan. Individuals are often detained without explanation or due process. and subjected to inhumane treatment to extract information or confessions. This practice is supported by a systemic structure that provides impunity to perpetrators, making it a deeply entrenched aspect of state governance. I like to say this is, during this period, the latest round, fifth uprising of the Baloch. Even during the fourth uprising, my uncle, you see, my uncle, he was from childhood. At the time, the Prime Minister was Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. So Zulfikar Ali Bhutto and my uncle, from childhood, they were friends. They lived one block apart from one another in Karachi. And Zulfikar Ali Bhutto's elder brother, Sikandar Bhutto, he died in 1951-52. He used to be a daily visitor. So Zulfikar Ali Bhutto knew him from when he was a teenager, like 13, 14, 12 years. And then, but when he became Prime Minister, they came and they abducted my uncle, my cousin. My father was alive. My father told them, give them some money, they will free. Another uncle said, wow, this is the military, how can we give them money? My father said, these military people are the most worst crooks. And sure enough, they gave them a handsome amount of money, you see. Like it can get you a very, very nice pension in Karachi at that time. And my cousin, who was also forcibly abducted at the time, a huge guy from the intelligence services came and they threatened him that if you are not going to tell us the truth, we are going to sodomize you. Yeah, and they do actually sodomize lots of people, lots of people. This is extremely shameful in our especially culture, Baloch, to get sodomized. And they know it and they still do it. And that's why people are extremely angry all over Balochistan. Men, women, children, old, young, they hate Pakistan. We don't want Pakistan. How? You see, the British said, respect the Baloch. The British knew how to go around, how to deal with people. They had made this saying, respect the Baloch. And these Punjabi Muslims, they think the whole world belongs to them. They thought Bangladesh belongs to them. And they went and everyone saw what happened to them in Bangladesh. And now they think Balochistan belongs to them. You see, we are going to teach them again a lesson of history. I have full confidence in my people. We are not going to let them escape this time. The 90,000, the Indians were very nice, the Bengalis were nice, they let them go. This time around, the skulls will go back to Rawalpindi, to Lahore, to wherever they came from. What right they have to get into our houses, our homes, and abduct our children, and you see, bully our women, snatch our women's headscarves. They have got no business doing with us this kind of nonsense they are doing today. It's height of it. They're like the Hitlerite military against the Baloch people. I'm extremely angry with them. See, these measures, the torture, when it comes to tortures, these measures are not confined to any particular demographic. Men, women, and children across the region suffer from the state's atrocities. The aim is to break the spirit of resistance and instill a pervasive sense of fear and helplessness. And this enforced disappearances is what Hitler had practiced. He used to call it the night and fog policy. The night and fog policy was meant to create despondency among the population at large, so that people don't know what's going on. Where is he? Is he alive? Is he dead? There are people, you see, Deen Mohammed Baloch. He was abducted January 28, 2009. His daughter, Sunny Deen Baloch, she is now 26. She has spent her, how many years now? She has spent like 15, 16 years on the streets. Where is my father? I want, please at least tell us whether he's alive or dead. See? When some people get their member, they come to know, yes, they have been tortured and they have been killed, they'll take a sigh of relief, at least we know what happened. You know, when you're torturing people like this manner and then you are saying people are going to be with you, why should we be with you? Honestly, you see, I personally had believed in one India, all of India, one. All of South Asia, United States of South Asia. But these fuckers, these Punjabi Muslim bastards, they have no sense of mine and thine. They have no civility, they have no humanity. Just you see, recently they were snatching the headscarves of our girls in the streets of Pakistan. Our people are extremely angry. I've told my own young people in my family to go and fight them. I will be very proud when I come to know that you have been killed in the fight against this military of Pakistan. I honestly mean that. I've told many of my younger members of family, go and fight against this. We have got no other way. We are not going to let them come and take over our ports, take over our land, take over our mountains. Tikka Khan, the other guy, the general, he said, we don't want East Pakistan, we just want the land. We don't want the people. The same thing they are doing here. They don't want the Baloch. Just yesterday, the Corps Commanders meeting, this is the general top brass of the military. That meeting is supposed to be the most important meeting in the world in Pakistan. Come on, man. Civilians are there. The civilians are, you see, like tamed monkeys for the general. The general is the street juggler, and the civilians are the tamed monkeys. This is the system in Pakistan. Unlike India or other democratic places, it's very different Pakistan. So we have, you see, a lot of post-traumatic stress disorder in our population. There is always this shame of being tortured. People are not willing to share what happened to them. It was been so bad. You know, it's like I just don't know how to explain that. You see, there is this pervasive threat of killing. 80% experience the threat of death or mental torture during transfer, during their stay. Solitary confinement. 77% of the victims of enforced disappearances in Balochistan faced solitary confinement. Electric shocks, 67.9% were subjected to electric shocks. Stress positions, 65.4% were placed in stress positions for long periods of time. Threats to loved ones, 57.1% were threatened with the killing of their loved ones. Upside down hanging and denial of medical treatment, 46.4% were exposed to upside down hanging, while the same percentage was denied medical treatment. Witnessing torture, 42% were forced to witness the torture of others. And I know of a case from the previous uprising when two daughters of a father were raped in front of the father's eyes by the Pakistani military. Sensory deprivation, 36% were deprived of sensory stimulus, food and water deprivation, and exposure to extreme temperature. 1/3 of the enforced disappearance people said they faced that. Electrocution in genitals and sharp objects penetration. 27% were electrocuted in the genitals, and 21.4% were subjected to cuts made with sharp objects. Genital crushing and bone breaking. 18% faced tools used to crush or pressurize genitals. while 14.3% experienced crushing or breaking of bones. And then I don't know what this is actually, I am reading it for the first time, but they do just to torture the people. Dead animal rubbing, you see. Bring the dead animal in the rub on. I don't know whether they use the swine or some pig or something, because mostly people are very allergic to that. Psychological torture. 50% of victims were stripped naked, and 75% of victims reported psychological torture, including false information that their loved ones had been harmed or killed. Someone is in their captivity and they are telling them that your mother or your brother or your father has been killed or harmed. That kind of thing. And one thing, this one general right now in Pakistan, Faisal Nasir, he is called Dirty Harry. He just enjoys stripping people naked and doing all kinds of stupid things on victims. He's been doing it to the workers of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. Those Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf workers once upon a time used to believe that the ISI is the best agency in the world, are today the most avowed enemy of the ISI and the military, just like we Baloch are. So you see, at this point, the only mainstream political group in Pakistan which is somehow sympathetic, somewhat sympathetic to us, is the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. And we appreciate that. You see, because they're actually the person who won the elections. I'm not very fond of Imran Khan, honestly. I don't like his policy, I don't like his ideas or anything, but the fact is, he is the winner of the election. And Asim Munir, the general, the dictator perpetuo, the mullah general, the only general who has you see, wrote, memorized the whole Quran. You are a military person. What the nonsense? You have spent 3 years in rote memorizing a book, holy book, and then he is going and repeating all the verses from them when he is dealing with us. He is thinking we Baloch are infidels. He thinks the Pashtun people, they are Khawarij. See all kind of names from some holy scriptures he is bringing into politics. And the first thing is, why are you in politics at all? And on top of that, you are bringing, you see, not only politics, you are bringing the most dangerous thing into politics, which is jihad and that kind of idea. Extremely pathetic situation in Pakistan. And you see, I'll go to the present situation now. I'm not sure if I missed or something, but the thing is, in Pakistan, the Balochistan area is the size of New Mexico. In Iran, the Balochistan area is the size of Nevada. And in Afghanistan, the Baloch area is the size of West Virginia. So we were left stateless by the British. And our movement to gain our statehood is the most developed in Pakistan. My family originally was from the Iranian part of Balochistan. They left, I think, in the 1860s or 70s. So, but we have our tribes are there all over. My tribe is in the 3 countries. And I especially was, you see, the thing was they just deny us a fair share in the federal, right? That has been long story. Never gave us the military has been in charge since 1952, and the go-ahead was given from year. These places, Langley, the CIA headquarters, the State Department, the Foggy Bottom, this Pentagon, these people, I don't know why they have to prop up these bastards of the British Raj. This military in Pakistan was actually created by the British to crush the people in India. You know that? They were They were the people who used to crush the British wanted to use them to crush the locals who were demanding freedom. And these are their grandsons and great-grandsons. Their great-grandfather used to be Hawaldar. Now they are generals, and now they think they are the rulers of Pakistan and they are better than everyone else. This is the mindset of the Pakistani generals. And they are now, you see, coming in Quetta. It's a horrible situation now in Balochistan all over. They can only move, the Pakistan government can function in 4 hours in a day when there is light. And there is dark, our people, I salute them. I salute the Baloch Liberation Army. I salute the Baloch Liberation Front. I salute each and every freedom fighter in Balochistan. And the imperialists here in Washington, D.C. and their uncles and aunties in London have no right to call us terrorists. They themselves are the worst terrorists. And they have labeled us terrorists. They don't know Pakistan military is the worst terrorist. Pakistan military has been terrorizing people in Kashmir since day one. They terrorize people in Afghanistan. They are terrorizing us in Balochistan. They are terrorizing the Pashtun people in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, just as I mentioned. They are terrorized. They are the terrorists. And this CIA chief goes and talks to the ISI chief, and they say, no, these are the people who are the most stabilizing factor in Pakistan. Those guys are the ones who are really, really effing up Pakistan from bottom to everywhere. They are the problem. And our Americans and these white guys, I honestly think this is racism involved here. Without racism, this could not have been the case. They don't think we brown people are equal to them. That's why they let these generals come and do whatever they want to do with us. There are those laws here in America called the Leahy law, so called the Magnitsky law, that punishes these kind of generals and dictators. But they don't ever apply it on Pakistan. And lo and behold, you see, of all the people, President Trump comes in, and the one country he praises is that shithole. Of one country in the whole world he praises is Pakistan. Oh, Pakistan, we are thankful to Pakistan. What nonsense. Why are you thankful to Pakistan? You forgot that they were hiding Bin Laden there for 10 years. You forgot that all the Al-Qaeda of people, 80% were in Pakistan. These Pakistani generals, India peaceful country, you come and you are treating Dawood Ibrahim over there like a VVVIP. Dawood Ibrahim is still in Pakistan. They say, no, we don't know what happened. I myself saw Dawood Ibrahim. I myself, with my eyes, I saw him in Pakistan. Right? And I feel very mad with these people here, these Goras, these white, racist, white supremacists who are dealing with Pakistan and closing their eyes to us. They should immediately support our groups. They should support the Baloch Liberation Army. They should support the Baloch Liberation Front. They should call the Pakistan military a terrorist military. This is the right thing to do. I'm asking the government here. I might be a little harsh and I'm not very sophisticated in my speech, whatever. I am going to talk bluntly. Enough is enough. My people are dying. You see, they have recently begun targeting our women. So nothing. The chief minister of Balochistan previously, his brother was one of the first victims of enforced disappearances in Pakistan, February 6, 1976. He was disappeared, he was killed 49 years ago. You never found out where his body is. His brother, Sardar Akhtar Mengal, who was the chief minister of Balochistan. By the way, when his elder brother was killed, my cousin was the first to go on the scene and see what happened. See, his younger brother Akhtar Jan, he is just demanding that these peaceful activists be freed, okay? He's not asking to get your military out He's not asking for any other thing. He's just saying, please release this woman, Dr. Maharang Baloch, who is a Nobel Prize nominee. She is also in 2024 Time Magazine's 100 most influential in the world, BBC's 100 most influential in the world. And they arrested Dr. Maharang Baloch. She is a medic by education. Her father was a victim of enforced disappearance, and his tortured body was dumped July 2011 after 18 months of enforced disappearance. And she was there and she saw her father's tortured body. She is now spearheading the movement for our Baloch rights, to respect our rights. You Punjabi people try to understand where the borders of Punjab end, try to understand to give other people, treat other people like humans. Punjabi Muslims, what is this? Get into, and she has been in jail now since March 22nd. What happened? March 21, they were protesting because a new spate of enforced disappearance had started. I'm not sure if you had followed the stories on Balochistan. On March 11, our Baloch Liberation Army had hijacked a train. We are very happy over that. I call it the Baloch Spring. For Pakistan, it's a whole national tragedy. For us, we are joyous over that. And they held, you see, they went by law. They held up 214 war criminals, the soldiers of Pakistan who were going into our homes, who were abducting our children, who were torturing us. They held them and asked the military general Ahmar Mustikhan to hold talks for the freedom of Baloch prisoners that they are holding. You know what Ahmar Mustikhan did? He said 200 coffins. He sent there 200 coffins. He said, well, I don't want these guys. Yeah, kill them, 200 coffins. Our Baloch said, okay, we don't mind also. You want to go into heaven for your 77 virgin Huris and 22 Gilmans? They are going to send you there. So our people sent all of those 214 to heaven. If you are going to, you see, if you are going to not talk to us, then he is angry. Now he's livid over this. Ahmar Mustikhan is livid. And on that, after this happened, they covered up, right? Pakistan is, as I said, cluster of Pakistan. They just covered up everything, as if nothing happened. And when they did it for the first time in Balochistan, March 27, 1948, you know who ordered the press censorship in Pakistan? The first one. Jinnah. Extremely criminal, low person, no character. There's widespread people are saying that he used to sleep with his sister Fatima Jinnah. Yeah, it is there. It is over there.
You want money for the president, you know?
Yeah, Jinnah. Fatima Jinnah was, he loved Fatima Jinnah. It's true. I've written an article, it's there. Some Pakistani authors have written in their books themselves. And what happened? There was in Karachi, right? I have a lot of roots in Karachi. Karachi, my grandfather also built a very, very good mansion. But this mansion that was built in 1927 was by Seth Srivaratan Mohata, one of the best palace in Karachi. Huge. He had a wife, Saraswati. Saraswati had some breathing issues, so he built this palace 1927 on the Arabian Sea, on the beach. Jinnah had been his guest before that. Before 47, Jinnah was, I don't know, handling his some legal issues or something. So Jinnah knew him, and Jinnah was his guest. And as soon as partition happened, Jinnah said, I want this house. He cried, he said, please take another house, leave this house for me. Jinnah took over that house and gave it to his beloved sister. And that is the house where his beloved sister Fatima was actually killed in July 1967 by Ayub Khan. And we don't like to lie like the Pakistan. Whatever is there, we are going to say. We are not going to make up. It's there. So that kind of a person has made Pakistan. And they are asking us to be good Pakistani, to like Pakistan. For what reason? We never wanted Pakistan. We are either in the whole free Balochistan or part of one big India. Not this nonsense, you see. And they are calling us separatists. The Punjabi Muslims are the biggest separatists in the world. They don't get along with their Punjabi Hindus. They don't get along with the Punjabi Sikhs. They, you see, are killing their own Punjabi Ahmadis. Ahmadis are your sect. Why you don't respect them? They're killing them every day. They don't let them even pray in their verses prayer. This is the Punjabi Muslim mindset. And that is the best or worst represented by General Asim Munir. Worst, I think, he's 10 degrees worse than General Ziaul Haq. Ziaul Haq has plunged the Pakistan into what it is today. Prior to that, you see, it was still livable. Honestly, it was still livable, although whatever nonsense they created. Huh? And I see one very nice example. Prior to partition, my father had some apartments in Karachi. All the tenants were Hindus, always pay their rent on time, and very nice, polite. My father was apolitical. After partition, my father goes to ask for rent. They tell him, the peaceful grass eaters have gone. The peaceful grass eaters have gone. We are beef eaters like you. We are going to show you. He's just asking for rent. Like, what is this show, me or show you? And my father, you see, was totally apolitical person. He said, that was the day when I realized what a monster Jinnah has created. Honest to God. My father had nothing to do with politics. He was not like me saying these Punjabi Muslims are total idiots or whatever. He is nothing to, but it is his words. That was the day I realized what a monster Jinnah has created. And that monster is now devouring our children. That monster is disrespecting our woman. Enough is enough. We are going to fight. We will appreciate from this world. I am calling for an Anglo-Indian American peacekeeping force. Anglo-Indian American peacekeeping force must go into Balochistan, because these jihadis are crazy people. They have got no sense of mind and thine. They have got no humanity. I tell you, this Corps commanders meeting yesterday. They are talking about Kashmir. Oh, military, Indian military is doing such and such in Kashmir. Oh, in Gaza, Israelis are doing such and such in Gaza. And then what about Balochistan? They say we are going to crush them. You talk about Kashmir, you talk about Gaza, and when it comes to your own country, you say we are going to crush us. They are not going to crush us. We are going to show them. We have already won this battle, if the battle pertains to also the hearts and minds. Every battle has got a heart and a mind aspect. We, the Baloch people, who have always wanted to be free, we have won that. My tributes to all the girls, the women. In our society, you see, women used to be covered, they never went out of their houses. We still have, actually it's problematic, we still have one of the highest rates of honor killings. But still the women and girls have took to the streets. They are leading our struggle. And I really like the idea of Shaktiism, we call it, right? When the woman goddesses, Durga and Kali and all that. So these women are actually leading our struggle in a big way. And I'm very, very happy about that. And I'm calling them that once Balochistan is free, at least half of the cabinet position should go to women because they deserve it. And I think I've spoken a lot. And if you have any question, I'm ready to answer.
The question is, what's your role in the Balochistan struggle for independence, or with the leadership that is taking direct action, like Dr. Mehran Baloch and her associates who are actually at the forefront? And the second part of my question is, have you met with the policymakers and the movers and shakers in the Washington, D.C.?
Washington is. You asked me about my role, right?
Yes, correct.
You see, I have mostly all my life been a writer, patrikar. Now I do another job for my living, but I have mostly been a patrikar. I also have become activist after coming here, after seeing all the injustices. I became very angry with Pakistan when they came and tested nuclear weapons in Balochistan. When they don't give us any share in anything, and on top of that come and test your nuclear weapons in Balochistan, in that area where my tribe lives. They tested the weapon where my tribe lives. My tribe is called Gorgej. We are in the bordering area of Iran, Pakistan. A lot of the other tribes also, but my tribe also lives there. So they came and tested their nuclear weapons. I cried that day a lot. And these Islamists, what is this nonsense? When you're testing the nuclear weapons and raising slogans, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, all over the country. What the nonsense? What do you mean you have got nuclear weapons, now you are going to kill people and say God is great?
But I guess let me be a little bit more specific.
I will, yeah. No one, I'll answer. So I've been a writer, reporter, and most of all, I like to call myself a good troublemaker. I'm a good troublemaker. Even here in this area, when it comes to local issue, they know me here. That I'm a good troublemaker. So I'm all still, you see, creating trouble for the bad guys in Islamabad and Rawalpindi.
Do you have any credentials with the journalist or the correspondents association of Washington, D.C.? Are you credentialed with any of them, for example, so you can attend the briefings of, like say, White House or Pentagon or State Department or Homeland Security or anything like that?
It's very expensive to be a White House correspondent inside. It's $10,000. Not that simple. Be a lot.
So I guess that's a great point you made. Unless you have the access, your message will never reach the power brokers or the policymakers.
I appreciate that. You are right about that. The thing is, of course, now I'm very grateful to Indian media, right? After this March 11 happened, I was on television, 2-3 television channels every day. I'm extremely grateful to them to give us this opportunity to tell the people of South Asia, we are all one, right? We are not thinking that Muslim is different from Hindu and Sikh is different from Buddhist and all that nonsense that is Jinnah's sick, like he had TB in his body, he had also a TB in his mind. So we are not, so you see, so this is the thing we are doing, right? And unfortunately, in Pakistani newspapers are not going to hire us to cover BC or to cover the State Department or anything.
Actually, they do.
I'm-
They have a dedicated reporter that attends the State Department briefing regularly.
Unfortunately, we don't have that. There are all the Pakistanis up there, and they are, you see, getting two salaries. I think one salary, their own newspaper barely gives them any salary, but the main salary comes from the ISI. It's true. And they are always there in the State Department, they are in the White House, and they are, you see, asking their questions. They never go and ask what's happening in Balochistan, are you going to say something? They never do that.
That's it. Go ahead.
So one thing I realized, what you're saying is BLA is it's a party, but when I look at the Kashmir case, there's JKLF, Hurriyat, and Nizam al-Mujahideen. So as you know, JKLF is trying to get Pakistan away with violence. On the other hand, we have Hurriyat that wants to talk it out. We want to be separated, but we want to talk it out. We don't want to raise arms. So BLA seems like, sure, I understand, it's doing aggressively, but why isn't there a separate party that's saying, okay, you know what, if we want to be the United States of South Asia, we still want to be part of India, which came from anti-violence, right? Why isn't there a party that also says, hey, we want to talk, no violence, we want to understand what's going on, if we can do something, maybe something like a walk, right, that was just mandated. That's actually was changed in India. Maybe a walk could be a big part because as a Muslim, walk.
What? What is that?
WACQ. Walk. Walk.
WA?
Sorry?
QF. He's talking about the Waqf
Walk.
Huh.
Yeah, Baloch is saying this is part of our Waqf, like that. Or why isn't there like a party that also goes into just talk, not violence? Because if you also are violating, then what's the difference between the army and BLA, technical?
I don't know what Waqf is actually, because we
Waqf
are not.
So this is the board that actually you have to have a historical context.
Sure.
And the historical context of this is that during the Mughal times, all their generals and all their beneficiaries, they were given land. That land was passed down from generation to generation.
It was sold to Allah basically. Yeah.
And over time, things go haywire. You are no longer your descendants become shit bags, dirt bags, whatever. Who cares? Past is past. There is nothing you can do. So what this board has done is that due to the inefficiencies of Indian political party that has been in power since 1947, they have peppered them that if you put your hand on anything, that it's a Waqf board. It's an acronym for I forgot what the acronym is for, but it basically translates to it's Muslim property because it's once you put a hand on something, when a Muslim puts a hand on something and he offers a prayer in the name of God, then it becomes his. As ridiculous the logic is, and they're ludicrous, the premise of the whole thing. Ludicrous the logic is, but it has prevailed in India for a very long time. As such,
Even though that bad, not bad, but majority that was overdone in Turkey, Algeria, Morocco, which are Muslim countries, majority, right?
majority of the
Yes.
Muslim countries,
Yes.
for example, Saudi Arabia and Turkey during the there was a Turkish strongman before, after the fall of Ottoman Empire, who modernized Turkey. That was I'm forgetting the name of the
Kemal Atatürk.
Turkish president.
Atatürk.
Atatürk. So he said, this is absolutely ridiculous. There can be no more injustice towards the nation and the people just because you are privileged and you have the power. You can put your hand on somebody and it becomes yours, and you offer a name in prayer in the name of God. Because that was a very big problem in Islamic world is anybody who has power, the very first thing they will do is they will go after the young girls. As young as 9 or 8 or 9 or 10 years old. And as disgusting and unfathomable it may be, it's a reality. That's one of the things that people, the rest of the world has to deal with. I saw that in Iraq because I was in the Iraq war and during the Afghanistan deployments, and it is beyond human comprehension. Let me say it this way: if you have any kind of integrity, morality left in you, you look at a child, you do not see them as an object of your desire. Any sane person will look at a child and look at child as a child. That needs nurturing, guidance, so they can become a productive member of the human race that we all inhabit this planet. But that is not so much in the Islamic world. Or
What can I say now? This, for example, I will focus on Punjab especially, and this General Asim Munir. He has, you see, he's coming and threatening our leaders in Balochistan, right? He is treating them as if they are they are not equal humans. This is the problem. I don't know what is wrong with them. They think they are superior to others. I don't know if you know some verses of Quran, does that mean that you are better than others? You should practice it, right? Be gentle, be kind. I cannot tell what about all this, what their cultural mindset is, and I can't speak to that, sir.
So the problem with the Pakistani military establishment and the chief of army staff, that he's a Hafiz, Qur'an Hafiz, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
He does not have the perspective and the temperament to be a military leader, because the military leadership looks at things very differently compared to how the civilians look at it.
Mhm.
And he tries to justify his existence by reciting Quran. He was the shortest-lived ISI chief who was deposed by Imran Khan, and later on Faisal Hamid deposed him. Faz Hamid deposed him. And Faz Hamid has its own skeletons that most of us know. And then he became a chief of staff, and he had a grudge against Faz Hamid, and then he got the opportunity, and they deposed, and he got him arrested. Now Faz Hamid he was at the ISI. It is no small event that PTI people will go inside the military base of your Rawalpindi Corps. That's the most important corps in Pakistani military and burned his house down. It has never happened. So, this guy is, and plus he's very much, so the dirt on Asif Munir is that he's very interested in marrying Nawaz Sharif's daughter, Maryam Sharif, and he wants to take her as his second wife or third wife, whatever. And that is, obviously has made some people who are equally powerful, more powerful, who are very politically savvy, on the tenterhooks as to what is he doing. And that is a very contentious issue in Pakistani politics.
See, sir, I will say one thing here. Like this Punjabi Muslim general, right? If they show respect, their own brother Punjabi, their own brother Punjabi Sikh, right? Say, let's be friends, let's not fight, let's have peace, let's have trade, let's have, exchange, let's have cultural dances together, let's have, he will not feel the necessity to look at our resources greedily. They are looking at our mountains, they are looking at our ports very greedily, these Punjabi Muslims. I am telling them, make peace with your own people on East Punjab. You will not feel the necessity to come and harm us, to come and harm Afghans, to go and sometimes try to snatch the waters from Sindh. They are trying to now stop the waters from Sindh, and the generals want to use that water over in Punjab.
That is correct.
They are doing all kind of nonsense just by not accepting. Sometimes they think they are Arabs, sometimes they are thinking they are Turks, right? Why are you not calling yourself who you are? You are a Punjabi, you should be proud of your roots. What is this? Sometimes you are Arab, sometimes you are Turks, sometimes you are trying to be Afghan. This is nonsense. Sir, I don't know how to change their mindset. I think your foreign minister Jay Shankar said something on those lines, that these guys are just something else.
So, there is a water war coming. That's our analysis from the United States.